here to have you here. And so, for all the people, welcome to our show. We have Rukshana from Oregon, USA, and it will be a really, really exciting episode today because Rukshana will share three tips with us. And afterwards, we have a lot of exciting things to talk about her lot of non-profit stuff that she is doing in Africa, in USA. So, Rukshana, can you introduce yourself to us?
Absolutely. Thank you again, Sharique, for having me here today. I'm very grateful. I am here, Rukshana, from Portland, Oregon. It is almost 9:15 a.m. as you as a time difference. I am by trade a women's lifestyle coach, and but what really brings my heart alive, gives me up and excited in the morning. I run a nonprofit that I established called Firmina Foundation, and it was established in honor of my grandmother. And the focus is building a school in Mozambique from the country that I came from. So that's a little bit about me, but I was a former refugee. I left my country when I was 5 and roamed around in a few of the African countries. I also lived in a refugee camp in Zambia, and that's how I came here to the United States with my family through the asylum. So again, I feel like our gift in the world is to go back and where we came from and share some of our knowledge and wisdom to the place that we came from. So that's a little bit about me.
Help people. Yeah. Actually, that's really wonderful because we as humans are connected to each other. Some people get the opportunity, some people don't get the opportunity, but we try to help each other. So in the second part of the show, we will have a lot of interesting things from Ruksana to learn about. But before that, I have asked Ruksana to share three tips to our viewers because this is the format of the show. The guests share three beautiful tips, and then we move to her or his story. So let's move to tip number one.
Of course. So tip number one is be aware. Be aware of your story. I always share this. Awareness is knowing your journey, knowing your adversity, knowing your trauma. I always say that your trauma is your wisdom. Your trauma are your lessons. When you know who you are, where you're from, and the journey that you took you to get to where you are, and that is the gift. So awareness. And when we become so aware, instead of resisting the fight, instead of resisting the change, to know, like, you know what, I am different, I am unique, I stand out. So that is my gift, and now what's next? So that's one, is being aware and understanding that awareness.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it, because everybody is unique in this world, regardless of their religion, race, and caste, whatever. But feeling this, thinking that you are inferior to other, or this is not good, but feeling that diversity is a gift. That's really wonderful. I really like it.
Yes, and that's part of the things that, I feel like any human being, like you said, Sharique, is I think every time we meet somebody, everybody has a story. You have a story. You're empowering your community as well, on social media, on different platforms. Everybody has a story. Even though our stories are not the same, every story is different and is validated. It's important to you, and each story will help somebody else be better. Give inspiration, get up in the morning,
Yes.
Wake up and take control of life. So that goes back to that awareness, is knowing who we really are and the steps that we took and the journey that it took us to get here.
I'm really loving this show because we are not talking about just making money. We are talking about helping others, empowering others through sharing the stories, through telling the value of every individual, regardless of which background he comes from. Yes. So let's move to tip number two.
So tip number two is to believe. Walt Disney, who created Disney movies, says always believe. So when we have that inner belief that I can do something, and belief can come with, of course, self-confidence. Belief can come from awareness, can come from everyday practices that leads into confidence, that leads you to take the other thing. And I'm going to share this with any of your audience who are listening, or who are listening to a recording, or who are listening to live right now, is when you believe, God, universe, Allah conspires to know that you are worthy of what you believe. Whichever God purpose that you, whatever, God that you believe in, if you believe in that and go full in, The God opens the doors for opportunities. Of course, things are not easy, but you are going to meet somebody who's going to connect you to somebody. You're going to connect like I connected with you. You're going to connect with somebody who's going to connect you to somebody who's going to lead you to your second step in success. You're going to connect to
Mhm.
the other person who's going to lead you into that opening that, nonprofit organization. You're going to,
Yes. Mhm.
everything, it all starts with the belief. And every one of us has a belief. Don't you believe? I mean,
Yes,
like,
it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So tip number two is to believe. It's wonderful. So let's move to tip number three.
absolutely. So, tip number three is taking action. And when you get up in the morning, what is the two things you're going to do to take action? So, today I had to move a couple things around to show up. And taking action is to show up for this live video, to connect with your people, and to connect with my audience. And sometimes I don't feel like it. And
Mhm.
it's hard to show up. It's hard to show up for what we believe, for the things that we see of the future. But if you do those things, get out of bed, brush your teeth, and do what you said you're going to do, and
Mhm.
that adds up to so much of the life for the future. So that is the tip number three, is taking action.
That's excellent. Action. What
Yes.
what drives the action, or what is the motivation behind any action? The vision, focus, dream. What can be the driving force behind any action?
For me, the driving action is knowing that there is about 3,500 students who are waiting for me. You have to have something that you believe. So whether it's your family, whether it's your wife, whether it's your village, whether it's your job. I mean, most of us are motivated by action, by showing up for a job, because we're going to get paid. We want money, right? So
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
money is, of course, we're going to show up for that. But the action could be the things that you believe in, or the things that you want to work towards, to whether it's that relationship, whether it's that creating that entrepreneur job, or creating that career. So whatever it is you're going to take, what is 2 steps, 3 steps you're going to do today, even that, just
Mhm.
asking the right question that's going to lead into other things in the future.
Very nice. Actually, these were three wonderful tips: to be aware, to believe, and take action. And I can feel that Roxana is really at the peak of her energy, because now she feels that she is at a stage where she can help people. And we will like to know more about your story. Our viewers will like to more about your story. So tell us more about the projects that you are doing, and why are you doing, or maybe little bit about your story.
Oh, of course. So I am a former refugee. Like I said, I left my country when I was the country of Mozambique, and that's in Africa, for some of you who don't know me. And my ancestors came from India. So that's why I have an Indian name in the background. So due to the war, we fled the country to Malawi, and we lived in Malawi for about 5 years, learning to adapt the language. So for people who are refugees, know that you don't flee to only one country. You flee to 2 to 3 countries to find asylum to. And then after Malawi, we fled into Zambia, where we stayed for the safety in the Zambian refugee camp, where we stayed there for 5 years. So as you can see, 15 years of my early life was about moving from city to city and then adapting to the language and the culture. But then we lived in Zambia for about 5 years in the refugee camp, and we got asylum to get here to United States. So that's how my journey to United States ended up. So now I am on a journey that, I have this inspiration that whatever you come from, you should give back to some kind of contribution. And not everybody have to create a nonprofit, or you can give time, you can give money, you can give
Mhm.
resources, you can be the
Yes.
connector. I believe in that. So in 2018, I was honored enough to start a nonprofit called Firmina Foundation in honor of my grandmother, who always inspired me due to education. So we
Mm.
started a nonprofit, and the nonprofit is called Firmina Foundation. And the focus was to build schools in that one specific village that the children were learning under a mango tree. In United States, children don't learn under a mango tree. I don't think in Europe children learn under a mango tree. So it was really fortunate that to be able to be part of this project, and we built our first school. Now, our first
Mm.
school is in a little small town called Tengwa, and it serves about 300 students, who some of them walk about 3 to 5 miles to the distance to learning, and then learn into the
Mm.
structure. So that has been my
Yes.
journey, part of that, going back to where I came from, and to be able to serve to a population. And hopefully the drive of my goal is empowering
Mm.
these young audience to build their
Yes.
country from war.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
really
Yes.
believe that the education is the future and is the only way to view the world.
It's really wonderful for people who want to know about this project. Here is the website, firminafoundation.org. And I'm sure the energy you are bringing, you are saying there are 300 people, students are waiting, but many people will join this convoy and there will be more and more schools because we have seen this. People who start this journey, then more and more people start with them. For example, we are trying to help a doctor here in Pakistan, and he went, when he was young, he went to a remote village, and the people there never saw a doctor in their lives, and he started, okay, I will start a hospital, and now he has 15 hospitals in the country over the passage of last 40 years, and people have been donating, helping, and other doctors came back. So it's a journey. Somebody has to start and people come back. And second thing, of course, to empower, education is the key. And I think Africa is the new boom. Africa will grow and develop, and I really hope that the people are really talented and they will really lighten the world, because I think we have many examples, so you can tell better about them.
Of course, and you just hit the nail right there. And Africa is the new future. And when I talk to these kids who are in the village who have never seen an iPhone, right? They know that the iPhone exists. They don't have televisions. Their socialization is different. So they don't see the vision. But to be able to, when I tell them saying that Africa could feed the nation, Africa can feed the world. Like that small village can feed probably three countries. And what I say that is because, I believe education, again, going back to education, is we're taught that we need things from Europe or things from United States or things from made in China. And the vision of education is hopefully to change that way how we think about things. You don't have to have things made in USA. You don't have to make things in China. You can create that in your village and say made in Tengwa, and then ship it across the world and ship it to Oregon or ship it to Germany, whatever it is. I mean, it's all about teaching the young audience about the future, how we see, things should be done.
Amazing.
I mean,
Amazing.
coffee, look at the coffee, like Starbucks coffee comes from Kenya. It comes from other things. Like teaching these young kids, I said, your farming land here that you're cultivating hot sauce or chili or tea or coconut, that can be shipped all the way to Oregon. Just think about it, made in Tengwa. So again, just shifting the way we look at things, how education educating the young audiences about the future and how of the country, so empowering and taking those resources to expand it and make it more empowering the country, empowering their families and community. So
I'm sure there will be a really big change the way you are doing, and actually that's really beautiful because you're not getting any money out of it. You're trying to help others, and we can feel the energy and the spark in your eyes to try to help others. I think viewers can also feel it, and I also tell everyone that okay, we have to earn a living, we have to do the job, but then there are much bigger things you have to do, and do what you love. Like it said, do what you love. I think it's that you are loving, and I truly believe, like, if we help others, then God take care of us. If you take care of others, then you are being taken care of automatically. It's not possible. And we don't need to think about materialistic benefits. It comes to you automatically. It is happening to me always, over and over again.
I truly believe, because I don't promote my business. I mean, my business come through a word of mouth, and that's how I know, because my energy is so focused in the nonprofit that I know that the universe is gifting me in different ways. Even people's like, "How do you get your clients?" I'm like, "I don't know. I get them through the word of mouth." And Sharique, when I had reached out to you back, I think it was last August or something like that. I was putting a conference together. It was called a fashion show. It was called an African fashion show. And I was so excited because I wanted to share the world with the African fashion show. And one of the things I decided to do is that I'm going to call myself, and a name. I'm going to claim the name. I'm not going to wait for the world to put a name on me. I'm going to call it International African Fashion Show, right? So the reason I said that is because the children, the kids, in the trade school in the village had designed these African outfits and shipped them here to USA. And we had a diverse of women model their clothes on the carpet, and we did a fashion show to do a fundraiser for the nonprofit.
Very
So
nice. So I'm just curious about it. So you contacted me in August. So now it's January. So the show actually happened. Was it successful or was it postponed because of COVID? What happened with the show?
no, we still went on. Like you say, the passion when you have the vision. We went on. We just diverted to the online version. So we had the fashion. We still wanted people to buy tickets, and we raised enough funds. And yeah, we just diverted. I think when you're committed to doing something, you don't find excuses. You find a way, and that's exactly what I did. I found a way
Wonderful.
to execute
I think
this.
this is also a tip for the viewers. When you're committed to something, you don't find excuses, you find a way. That's a wonderful tip also. Actually, we promised 3 tips, but you are getting a lot of new tips. Yeah.
Yes. So yes, it was really successful, and we'll do it again this year at the end of the year again. Again, it's the mission is empowering these kids, saying that you can create something in this little tiny village. Maybe it's not even on a Google map yet, and you can
Yes.
ship it all over the world, and people can purchase your product, and you can make your name brand like Nike
That's
and
nice.
Starbucks, whatever it is.
So my question is, so you want to create a school in Africa and this journey can continue. So how's the response? I'm sure the people in the village, they will be happy, but how's the response from your friends, African and non-African friends in USA around you about your initiative?
Well, it is always different when you bring this idea to your family because they think that you're crazy. But you know what? You are crazy. you're, you're not the average normal people. But what I realized through the journey of creating something, because I've created different things in my life, in communities and stuff like that. What I realized through the journey of creating something, the right people will come to you because those are the right people who will talk about you, like you. Sharique, you came, you reached out, and you're connected, and here I am on your platform sharing, and here I am sharing, and you're live up in Germany. Here I am in
Yeah.
Oregon. So I know the right people come, and so different people came from all over the world and shared the message, and donations are coming from all parts of the world. I don't even know these people, but they know the journey because I've been sharing it on social media. So not all friends believed me, but you know what? I picked up a lot more wonderful friends on the way that when I travel, I plan to meet them. So to thank them and to actually have that connection in person after all of that. So I feel like when we're on a journey of trying new things and helping other people, not the people that you expect to be there will be there, but you will meet so many people on the journey.
Yes. So again, back to the same thing that when you are committed, do it. Do not make excuses, and the same happened. And I think so. Um, uh, since COVID, actually, it's a tough time, but actually, new opportunities also came. People are connecting across the world virtually.
That's right.
Actually, before previously, and especially the developing countries where they were really bound to their village or town, now they are able to connect to people across the world. And I think this is true globalization. And now, actually, because of COVID, we feel that how we are connected to each other.
Yes.
Humanity is connected to each other, and slowly this is growing. That the color or the religion or other things do not matter, but matter is humanity.
Absolutely. Yes. The online world has connected us so much, which is kind of nice in the, version of where we are. And again, that is not happening in a developing country because they don't have access to the internet. They don't have access to Facebook. So it's kind of sad, but that's the hope is in the future that because of COVID, the schools were closed. Most of the places in the United States that closed school were closed, and the schools are closed in the village as well. And they don't have access to education for the last 8 months. Over here in the United States, we're able to divert because the students are now learning online. Again, it's because of the resources we have in the United States and that the resources that we don't have in Africa. But you know what? We're right behind there. We're working there. And I believe that those children, those kids, those young adults are going to open the doors of the future learning education, how education
Yes.
is brought up.
Yeah, internet and technology is also very important. You're right, because mostly in the villages of Pakistan and India, at least in Asia now, we have internet everywhere slowly.
Oh,
So this is
nice.
actually, even people don't have laptops, but they have smartphones and they're studying remotely.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was really a pleasure to talk to you, and we had 3 tips from Rukshana. She said that being aware of yourself about your story and being proud of it, believing in yourself and your story, and third was
Taking action, showing up.
yeah, do some actions. Yeah, they're wonderful 3 tips actually, and really enjoyed it. So you want to give some message before signing out for today?
Absolutely. I just want to tell, to anyone who's listening to this message today, you have a powerful story, and use your story to create your dreams. Use your story to help others, because everything will come around 100%. Trust me. And I've used that experience, and I've seen that with many people that I've worked with. So do not be ashamed of sharing your story, of your journey, of where you came from and where you're heading.
It's wonderful. So do not be ashamed of your story, guys, and share with others. That's why we had Rukshana. That's why we have wonderful people in every episode. And stay tuned and let's stay in touch. And thank you very much, Rukshana. And the contact details of Rukshana is already shared in the caption of this video. And we will stay in touch and stay connected. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Rukshana. Thank you. Bye.